Let me ask you something. Have you ever just stopped and wondered, who am I really? Is the you listening to me right now just a collection of cells, or is it something more? We're going to explore a really powerful idea here, that you are not your body. You're a soul. And getting your head around this one concept can literally change your entire life.
Now I know, that is a massive claim. It sounds like something out of science fiction. But just stick with me. We're going to walk through the actual logic, the proof that the real you isn't your body or your brain. You're the pilot. You're the consciousness that's just experiencing the world through this body. And honestly, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
And this is why it's so important, because once you really get this, it's like upgrading the entire operating system of your mind. All those things that haunt us, the fear of just ending, that deep feeling of meaninglessness, the anxiety about getting older, all of that stuff starts to lose its grip. It just doesn't have the same power over you.
To really see why this is such a big deal, we gotta look at the invisible cage most of us are living in without even knowing it. It's the default worldview of our time. It's called materialism. And when you really look at it, it's kind of a nightmare.
This is the story we're all told, right? You are a biological machine. You're your brain. And all your thoughts, your love, your memories, they're just chemical sparks. And when the machine breaks, when the brain stops, that's it. Lights out. Game over. Forever. It's a really bleak, dead-end way to look at everything. And this way of thinking, it has real-world consequences. I mean, look at this stat. If you truly believe life is just a random accident that ends in nothingness, it's no wonder so many people feel a sense of despair. Now, obviously, mental health is super complex, but you have to ask, how much of this dread comes from a philosophy that tells us we're just temporary machines with no purpose?
But here's the crazy part. For all its confidence, materialism has this massive gaping hole right in the middle of it. It's called the hard problem of consciousness. And it's this. Nobody, not the smartest scientist in the world, has any idea how 3 pounds of wet gray meat inside your skull creates the experience of being you. They can't explain why the color red feels like red, or why a song can make you cry. On the biggest question of all, it's got nothing.
So what's the alternative? Well, there's another idea, and it's been around for thousands of years, from ancient philosophers right up to today. It's called dualism, and the core idea is actually really simple. There are 2 basic kinds of stuff in the universe: physical stuff, like rocks and planets, and non-physical stuff, like consciousness. And you are that consciousness, that soul, just temporarily connected to a body to have this experience.
Okay, so how can we be sure? Is this just a nice story, or is there some real logic behind it? Let's get into it. Let's start with proof number 1. It's a powerful argument that's been around for centuries, and it's all about what you can and can't divide.
So the philosopher René Descartes pointed out something really simple but brilliant. Think about it. Your body is made of parts. You can divide it. If you lose an arm, you're still 100% you, right? Even if half your brain is damaged, the I that's in there, the one experiencing everything, is still whole. You can take away any piece of the body, but you can't be half a you. The self, your consciousness, seems to be a single whole thing. So here's the punchline. If your body has the property of being divisible, but your consciousness has the property of being indivisible, then they cannot be the same thing. It's a basic rule of logic. This shows that you are not your body. You are a soul that has a body. It's your car for getting around in this reality, but you are not the car. Okay, let's build on that with proof number 2. This one's about the stuff going on inside your head right now, your thoughts. And this is an experiment you can do for yourself right this second. Seriously, try it. Close your eyes. Imagine a big, bright pink elephant. Maybe it's wearing a little hat. You got it? Okay. Now tell me, how much does that thought weigh? It's a ridiculous question, right? Because thoughts don't have weight. They don't have physical properties.
Let's keep going. Where is it? Can you point to a spot in your brain and say, the elephant is right there? No. What temperature is it? What's it made of? These questions make no sense because the idea of the elephant has 0 physical qualities. And yet for you, the experience of imagining it is totally real.
Now, a skeptic will say, oh, but it's just electricity in the brain. But think about that. The electrical activity in your brain, that has a physical location. It has a measurable voltage. It has chemical properties. But the experience of the color pink, the idea of an elephant, that stuff has none of that. There's a huge gap between the physical brain zap and the non-physical thought itself.
They are not the same thing. So the logical conclusion is that thoughts aren't made of physical matter. They're made of something else. You could call it mind stuff or soul stuff. Your mind is this non-physical space where non-physical things can exist, which, by the way, is a massive problem for anyone trying to create a truly conscious AI. You can't just write code for a non-physical experience.
This brings us to proof number 3. And this is where we move from pure logic into some really fascinating real-world evidence. Evidence that is forcing a lot of scientists to rethink everything. We're talking about near-death experiences, or NDEs.
And look, this isn't just a handful of stories. We are talking about millions and millions of people from every culture all over the world. People who were declared clinically dead, no heartbeat, no measurable brain activity at all, and yet they came back reporting vivid, clear, conscious experiences that happened while their brain was offline.
So, how is that even possible? This question led guys like Dr. Eben Alexander, a Harvard neurosurgeon, who was a total skeptic until he had his own NDE, to a stunning conclusion. He realized the old model is completely backwards. The brain doesn't create consciousness like a factory. It receives consciousness like a radio receiver tuning into a signal.
This radio analogy is perfect. Think about it. If you smash a radio with a hammer, the music stops playing in the room. But did you destroy the music itself? Did the radio station's signal just disappear from the universe? Of course not. You just broke the receiver. The broadcast is still there. In the same way, when the brain dies, maybe the receiver is just broken, but the signal of consciousness, the real you, is still broadcasting.
So, after all the logic and the evidence, what's the point? What happens when you actually install this new idea as your life's operating system? What changes when you go from I am my body to I have a body? Well, pretty much everything. Now, I know what the biggest pushback is going to be. Come on, this is just wishful thinking. It's religion dressed up to make you feel better about dying. And you know what? I get that skepticism. It's an understandable first reaction. But it actually misses the point of the arguments. See, this isn't about faith. It's about logic. The arguments we just went through are based on reason and evidence. In fact, you've got leading philosophers today, including famous atheists, who are saying that old-school materialism just doesn't work anymore. It fails to explain consciousness. So the shift is happening because of reason, not just wishful thinking. And when you make that mental switch, the upgrades are incredible. Suddenly, death isn't this terrifying delete button. It's more like logging out of a game. Your self-worth is no longer tied to how you look. You can stop freaking out about getting older because the real you isn't aging. Your body goes from being a source of stress to being this sacred vehicle for your journey. Life stops feeling random and starts feeling like a huge, epic adventure. So, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this simple but profound flip of a common phrase. We're taught to think of ourselves as a body that might have a soul, but the truth seems to be the other way around, and it's way more powerful. You are a soul that, for a little while, has a body. Living your life through that lens, well, that changes the whole game. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more fascinating videos from Plato Baggins. Please leave your thoughts and comments for further discussion. Have a great day.